So we're going to draw a center line. So just find the center there, the center of your cone. And just kind of connect them. If you have one of those handy-dandy flexible line drawers, that's pretty handy in a situation like that. Like this, sometimes you can use your tape. We got her pretty close. Freehand's not so bad. And we do the same thing on the back. Split it right down the middle. Nice. Now the nice thing about the beige masking tape is that you can erase on it pretty good. And there again is my mark for the top line. I've already predetermined that my forepart is going to be about 8 centimeters long. Now this will vary by taste. So clearly the further forward you go, the more toe cleavage you'll get, and the further back, the less toe cleavage you'll get. And so in this case we're going to go 8 centimeters. There are a number of different formulas you can use. If you go to Skomark1, Skomark1's channel on YouTube, he uses kind of the formula approach to finding where to put your lines. But for me, I just kind of do it by eye, and this should work out just fine. Now, of course, your ball line's at a bit of an angle, so I will take a tape and very lightly draw a line there. And you need the upper to catch a certain part of the foot here in order to be well held onto the shoe. But so you're going to want to be up here a little bit, and again it's kind of trial and error. So I'll these lines usually go by the wayside once I start drawing anyway, but they're a good guide to begin with. So you just connect it with your top line at the back, hold her tight, and just very lightly draw it down. Gives you a good starting point. And then let's see, again you're going to want to catch a certain amount of this. Let's just call it right there for now. Follow the top line at the back. And just very lightly. And that just looks great. Okay, so of course, depending on what you want the opening to look like at the front, you can do all, you can make it square, you can make it very round, you can close this opening, you can make it as big as you possibly can, but of course you want to still keep a certain amount of the shoe on the toe or on the foot. The And you'll notice here, this comes up this way, and this has a much more gradual swoop down that way. So this is a shoe that I actually like quite a bit. So I'm going to try to more or less copy it. So starting with my starting point here, I'll just draw an opening. That doesn't look too bad, but I want to get deeper in here, so that looks pretty good. Now this may take a little bit of practice to get it just the way you like it. And of course I could have come significantly further down here. And come back up. In fact, I like that even better. Okay, so that's pretty nice. Now a lot of times designers will just go for a perfectly straight line here. Personally, I don't like that too much. I like it to come up, catch a bit of the heel, and then curve. Curves are always nicer than straight lines. Just more interesting. And I'll go back and clean that up a bit. Don't want a super thick line, especially when it comes to cutting it out. So that's not too bad. Now on the inside, so this is what we've got here. And hopefully you can see that okay. Now on the medial aspect, I'm going to follow the line out a bit. And then it's much more abrupt. It's not too bad. So that's the opening. Doesn't look great, but for demonstration purposes it'll work. And same deal on the inside. Now I use as a reference point right here. If you go below there, you're going to see a fair bit of arch. If you come just a titch above, you'll see less arch, and you'll also get a little bit better fit. You don't necessarily want a gaping hole on the inside of your sole or the inside of your shoe. And so the medial and also the medial line will be higher than the lateral. The lateral will be lower because your outside ankle is lower than your inside ankle. And you want to get a good clip of the shoe around the heel. So you don't want to go like that. you want to get up here and get a good clip, and then come on down, and that looks brutal. So we'll just come back. So what we need is more opening here. So let's see how that looks. Okay, so that looks pretty nice there. I've taken it a little bit further out. Still got a good chunk of the big toe here, so it'll clip onto the foot nicely. You can see here, relative to my point on the last, I've come in a bit, or up a bit. So that'll get in there nice and cover up that arch, which personally I don't find as super attractive. Some people do. I prefer toe cleavage myself. I think a shoe that shows too much arch just looks like it's gapping. So we'll clean up that line. Okay, and you can see how the inside kind of goes out, is slightly higher than the outside. And that's good. So, that's a rough example of drawing on the last for you. And of course, there's nothing firm, nothing set in stone. You can do whatever you like.